you do when you've done it all? Cannonball, cannonball, cannonball. It's not what you do, it's how you do. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you do. You be you and I'll be me, it's just a matter of style. You can't make it mile after mile, beat the street. If you got the soul, you can't make it. Move 'em out, let 'em roll, from sea to shining sea. Ball, cannonball. What do you do when the mountain is there? How do you answer the challenging day? When your back's against the wall, what do you do when you've done it all? Cannonball, cannonball, cannonball. It's not what you do, it's how you do. Be anything you want to be. It's not what you got, it's how you do. You be you and I'll be me, it's just a matter of style. You can't fake it, mile after mile, beat the street. If you got the soul, you can't take it. Move 'em out, let 'em roll, from sea to shining sea. Oh. Cannonball. Hey now, cannonball. 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 Cannonball.
Yes, indeed. Good after morning, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers, and sisters. This is the AOR F1 2016 Season 12, Round 3, here at the Shanghai International Circuit in China. My name is King Kodiak, and I will be your commentator for this evening's race. But I am not alone. Today, returning to the commentary box is the American legend, the talking talent of Texas. I refer to none other than fake ghost pirate of Justin.
That's got to be the best intro I've ever received. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Yeah, looking forward to Shanghai. It's a fantastic circuit. It's got slow corners, fast corners, technical corners, hairpin corners. I mean, it promotes overtaking. Fantastic circuit. I think one of the best circuits that we've gotten in the last 20 years or so. Really looking forward to this.
It's certainly been the sort of making point of some wonderful overtaking, particularly into the sort of latter part of the lap. Turn 14 seems to be a favourite for young Max Verstappen. He certainly made a name for himself diving onto the inside of people rather unawares. But there we are. Right, on the stream I'm going to display the championship positions. Unfortunately, I have to disable the preview, so I'm hoping that that's actually popped up. I am relying on people telling me that that is the case. You can see that Toronto Tigger is running away with this one. 50 points maximum he could possibly do, making the Ferrari team 83 points. That is a massive 50 clear at the front, ahead of the Renault team with 33, and third is Red Bull on 30. Marco FD currently holding second in the Drivers' Championship for Ferrari with 33, and Raven holding the third spot for the Red Bull team on 18. So a big point sway rather at the top of the field, but lots of fighting going on from third to fifth. Well, then third to eighth really, 18 to 12 points, and the rest of the points as you can see.
Yeah, nice mix of people scoring points. As you said, Tyranno Tigger, though, with those 50 points, 17 ahead of Marco FD. So taking that early lead. Marco, though, with 2 podium finishes, I gather, 33, yeah, 15 and 18. So he's finished on the podium twice. Yeah, I can see confirmation there. He got third in Australia, second in Bahrain. So will this be the one for Marco FD? Will he do another one better and win the race here in China today? I'm sure he'll be hoping so, because, yeah, after 2 races, a 17-point gap is pretty daunting.
Absolutely right. I am just jumping into the server. It looks like everybody else is doing the same. We are going to get this qualifying session underway again as the season is going to run. We have the short qualifying session, so 18 minutes of qualifying. As I'm just going to jump into here, we can see the map, and no one has yet left. Now I've just realized I haven't got my track map. I'm going to risk an alt tab, which has been my nemesis in doing my stream here for China, for F1 2016. So here is the, hold on to your breath, let's see, is it going to work? Is it going to crash? No, it stayed with me. Fantastic. So I have my track map, so I've got the corner names, and let's get this underway. Thank you for those joining the stream already. You are always welcome here at AOR, here with in my stream. Much appreciated. No one is on circuit yet. That's interesting. A minute gone and no one has come out.
Yep. I'm going to keep an eye on the live timing, certainly, as you keep an eye on the live TV feed primarily. So I'll be letting you know if anybody's going quick or anything like that. But yeah, nobody out on circuit yet. Actually, it looks like we.
Odan has Odan has just come out. I made a rather embarrassing mistake. I have an apology to make to Hupiyoko, who's been on our social races. I made a bit of a mistake with the fact that the driver picture that appears on the right-hand side of the screen that I'm looking at, which is the live TV feed, I didn't realise that can be a custom driver, and I commented that what I thought was supposed to be Nico Rosberg looked like a drag queen, so I really hope that Hupiyoko doesn't think that calling him a drag queen wasn't my intention. Hopefully he won't kill me next time that I commentate on it.
It looks like a lot of drivers heading out on track now, so I'm expecting we'll see some times being put onto the board. It looks like it is dry at the moment. Let me see if I can actually get a... Yes, it looks like 10 minutes into qualifying, we might have light rain in this session, is what it's saying. Let me see if I can get a further forecast. It does look like it's going to be overcast but dry for the race. But again, some wet weather forecasted for the later stages of this qualifying, this 18-minute long qualifying session that we've got. So these guys are going to want to get out there and get in some fast times as quickly as they can, at least get in a banker lap.
Now again, I'm keeping an eye on the chat here. I haven't got lots of people screaming about the FPS, so I'm assuming the FPS is looking good so far. If you are experiencing trouble, by all means let me know. I'm not really anything I'm going to be able to change about it this time around. However, we have had quite a number of successful streams. I'm still paranoid about it.
I'm watching the stream right now and it looks smooth to me.
Fantastic. So Odan then has started his time lap then, or his first time lap in the Force India on the super soft tyres. We saw a mixture of soft and super soft run yesterday in the social race. Lon in the Williams also beginning his time run on the soft tyres. I kind of naturally assumed that people would be running the super softs, but again, it does depend on what strategy people run. Their quickest times will dictate what tyres they start the race on.
Yeah, this could be the type of circuit where I think you're possibly more likely to see a two-stop strategy from somebody who's starting from outside the top 10, since they get free choice of tires to use, whereas the top 10, I think, are going to be more likely to run a three-stop. Now, that's not to say that a two-stop is impossible from the top 10. It's just certainly slightly less possible because of having to start on worn super softs. Of course, the tires that you started on is, I see on the replay, a Renault going off the track there. I'm not sure who that was, but they're staying nicely out of the way.
That was Fizzy that was staying well off the track. He was staying well off the track to allow
Always
those through. Absolutely. Now we're just looking at the Toro Rosso. Oh dear, he's done a Hamilton there. He's overshot the pit entry and landed up in the gravel, but he's managed to get out of that gravel trap. Mini Black in the... sorry, Justin, go on.
I was just going to say, still no times yet. I am seeing a lot of Sector 1 times, some Sector 2 times coming in as well. I think Odarn and LOL, actually Berg von Trips becomes the first driver to set a time on the soft compound tire, interestingly, not going for the super softs. He's got a 139.652 on the board. And Odarn could not beat that. 5/10 off on super softs. And actually, neither could Raven. Raven did a purple Sector 1 and a purple Sector 3, but his Sector 2 just wasn't up to snuff. And Berg von Trips holding on to that provisional pole position in the early stages of the session.
Non-runner clocking in the time on the soft tyre. He's into third position now. So again, we're seeing quite a flurry of times. Odarn now down to fourth in the Force India. Race Fanatic in fifth position there now. He had a pretty good run. It's a shame he actually finished second in last week's race. However, he did have a 3-second time penalty which was applied that bumped him down to third position, which gave the Ferrari team of Tirano Tigger and Marco FD a 1-2 finish. He did appeal to have the time penalty reversed, but sadly his appeal was denied. Oh dear, I've jumped back to desktop. That's not going to help. Apologies if that's caused a gap in the stream then. I'm not sure why I jumped back to desktop. And still no crash.
Fantastic. As you mentioned, fifth fastest on soft tires. In fact, the majority of drivers, we've got 10 times on the board, and only 4 of them are super softs. The other 6 times all on soft compound tires.
I think we've got the rain. The rain has actually started, so those that have got a bank a lap in early may be onto a bit of a winner, because it does look like, indeed, the rain has started to come down. So
that was very quick.
That was
only
very
6 minutes in.
Absolutely.
The game said 10 minutes in, but yeah, I guess it's come a little bit early. It's still showing as cloudy for me, but you're the one that's actually looking at what it's doing, so I will take your word for it. But yeah, Berg von Trips could be in a good position. I mean, that would be incredible if he took pole position on the soft compound tire. That would be an incredible start to his weekend.
Absolutely, and some of the big runners in this league. I mean, Tirano Tigger, I don't believe, has set a lap at all. You got the time sheet ahead of you, as you can confirm. I don't believe I haven't seen Tirano Tigger out yet, so this could catch out quite a number of people.
Toronto's is currently 7th fastest on a set of the soft compound tires with a 141.368, 1.7 seconds off of Berg von Trips' time so far. We do have a request in chat as well, if you could use the TV pod. So for some of these laps, if you could go actually on board.
Yes.
I think, yeah, the arrows on the keyboard should allow you to switch that.
I do beg your pardon. Yes, absolutely. Yes, JJ Gamer. Yes, absolutely. I will see what I can do here. Now, I would imagine those that are on the dry tyres are going to ditch those as well. Looking at Nooker crawling around turn 14 and not able to get the power down at all. So he's going to be coming in, one would assume. Yes, he does. I'm going to see if I can find anybody on the wet tyres. So we're just looking at Sebi in the Red Bull on softs. Yep, he's coming in. Marco FD. Yep, he's taken nearly 3 minutes to get around the field. So that just shows how wet it's become. Burkhoff to
LOL DK, LOL, he's on the intermediates right now, and so is Nick B.
So yeah, just jumped to LOL. Now, I've just noticed we've got 18 names. Oh, of course, that's going to include us too, isn't it? I was just thinking that we've got 4 people confirmed as not joining us. I was just thinking 2 of them have appeared, but of course 2 of those drivers are you and I. Big lockup for LOL as he comes into turn 14. Well, that will not turn in. Oh dear, he's struggling to get the power down and just staying on board with LOL as oh dear, he's thrown it into the wall. He's given it too much gas on turn 16 and has clunked into the wall. And
that was actually an out lap, so he's just now starting his hot lap, actually.
He's retired. He has chosen to retire. Interesting. Jumped on board with Fizzy then. Not too sure where he is. I'm not used to actually watching on board. I'm just going to switch the outboard view. I'm more familiar with the track for... he's on his out lap. That, I think, is around turn 7 somewhere. I think that's a long left-hander of 7 he's just going through.
Interestingly, I just got a message, because again, I'm in the server as a driver. I just got a message from my race engineer telling me the rain is expected to stop in 10 minutes, and that was with 9.5 minutes remaining in the session. So this might be your starting order. This might be your top 10.
Absolutely. But it would take a brave lap to beat the soft times with the intermediate tyre. It would take something phenomenal for that to occur.
Yes, Sebi is currently the slowest of the drivers that have set a time. He's currently set in 10th position, but it's only a 1:44.0, nearly 4.4 seconds off of what Berg von Trips did. I don't know exactly the delta between the two compounds, but there is definitely that gap there. But I think it's safe to say that at least the top six, which is Berg von Trips, ACR Raven, Non-Runner, O'Darn, Race Fanatic, and Mini Black. All of those guys are in the 139s and 140s, and I don't think you can do better than that on a set of intermediate tires. That would be an almighty lap to go through that. So yeah, I could actually see again on the replay. I'm watching the stream to check for the quality. I can see Sebi is out right now on those intermediate tires. He might have a chance at improving his time. I don't know what his last time was on the intermediates, but again, he's only got a 1:44 dead on the softs that he did. No other times have come in yet, though. No other official times, anyway. The six drivers outside of the top 10, which is Marco, Burkhoff, LOL, Fizzy, Nally, and Nick B. All of those guys have still yet to put a time on the board.
This weather definitely catching out some major hitters in this league. Then I've just been watching Sebi on his lap. He's just coming around 12 and 13 with sort of massive lockup into turn 11, which is, again, now I have been informed that sometimes the lockups we see on the television camera are not genuine. They appear to be a lockup to us and are not actually the case for the driver. Sometimes,
always, but yeah, sometimes.
And also the tyre allocation can misreport. Now, the intermediates are going to be correct, but sometimes the softs and the super softs seem to be wrongly reported, from what I gather. So, what I'm told, yeah, so people that watch the stream from previous races report that they were on the stream was not showing them on the correct tyre, so that one's going to have to be a bit of guesswork.
Yeah. But Nick B does become the first driver to set a time on the intermediate tires, and thankfully for Sebi's sake, he is 4.8 seconds off of Sebi, who was, again, the slowest of the slick tire runners earlier in the session. So Nick B with a massive gap up to Sebi. So it looks like for those six guys that have yet to set a time or had not set a time in the dry, those six guys are definitely going to be starting outside the top 10. Fizzy pops in a lap now on the intermediate tires, and he's a further 0.6 adrift of Nick B. So yeah, it looks like even Sebi's 1:44.0 is going to be enough to be his quickest time in this session. Nally now popping in time of a 1:49.566, just about a tenth off of Fizzy. So as it stands right now, the guys that have run the inters, Nick B is the quickest with a 48.9. AOR Fizzy comes next with a 49.5, and then Nally with a 49.56.
Just watching on board with Fizzy, actually, he's just coming through the first sector. The biggest difficulty seems to be getting the power down. The amount of torque these cars have is just causing the back end to want to slip away from the drivers. That seems to be the biggest issue, particularly here in the rain. The professionals make it look so easy, but then that's why they are the pros. You see the amount of opposite lock that Fizzy is having to use, even in a moderately straight line. Massive lockup as he's coming into turn 11. That seems to be a favourite locking up place on these intermediate tyres, and he's almost having to go sideways around 12 and 13 just to get the power down the way he needs. He's now on that back straight. It'll be interesting to see if he is able to improve on his current 12th place.
And we've got two more times on the board. Marco FD comes in P14. Only could manage a 1:49.7. So he is also nearly a second off of Nick B's time that he set earlier. I don't know if you can tell if the rain is getting worse or if the track is just getting wetter, but it definitely seems like these guys are struggling as the session goes on. Burkhoff, then right after Marco FD, came in with a time of 1:50.341, a further 0.7 off of Marco. So it does seem as these times come in, they're going slower and slower. But I say that, and Fizzy goes better. He goes a tenth quicker than Nick B. Moves himself up into P11.
I think it's more a case of the track seems to be getting wetter, because certainly the tyres should be getting up to temperature with the amount of energy going through them. Just watching Nally very, very tentatively going through turns 1 and 2, barely putting any power through the back tyres. Yeah,
But
I was
LOL
wondering that.
is the go ahead.
Sorry, I just spotted a comment there from Onage in the channel. You are absolutely right. I did wonder. I spotted Nuka retired in the Mercedes, probably because he set a time he cannot possibly beat.
Yeah.
Where is
Without
Nuka
question.
on the board?
He's 8th. He's P8.
Which he would have set on the softs, on the dry
Super
tires.
softs, in fact. Yeah, he was on the slicks. So yeah, there's no chance of him improving his time. So yeah, again, just to run down the order as we are coming to the end of the session, less than 4 minutes remaining. Berg von Trips on pole with a 139.652. Then comes Raven with a 139.756. Non-runner, O'Darn, Race Fanatic, and Mini Black are 3rd through 6th, all of them in the 140s. Tyranno Tigger way down in 7th position, so that's going to be difficult for him starting from the 4th row of the grid. Nuka in 8th behind him, Cool Cat 9th, and then Sebi, the final of the slick tire compound runners. For the intermediate guys, Fizzy is currently fastest with a 48.8, Nick B with a 48.9, Nally in 13th, Marco FD still down in 14th position, Burkhoff in 15th, and LOL, the only driver who has yet to set a time.
It's. I wonder if he's going to do so. Oh, again, just watching O'Darn, he's currently 4th. I think he's probably coming out for some wet tyre practice. I can't imagine he's setting his sights to beat his 4th place time, as he's again kicking that tail end out around the long turn 13, down along the back straight in the Force India.
Also, the weather is forecast to be dry, so in defense of Nuka as well, there's really nothing to be learned by going out there on the intermediate tires either. I mean, he could go out and turn some laps, but it's going to be completely irrelevant as the forecast for the race is going to be completely dry, which is unfortunate for people like Tyranno Tigger, the current championship leader. He's won 2 out of 2 races. He's down in 7th. Also, Marco FD, 2nd in the championship right now. As it stands at the moment, he will be starting from 14th, and with dry conditions, it's just going to be that much harder for those guys to move through the field.
So O'Darn then has gone onto a flying lap and almost gone straight off at turn 1. That's very kind of you, JJ Gatner, as I'm struggling... Oh, Gamer, I beg your pardon, I'm struggling to read your name. There's light green text on a white background on my screen, but that was very kind of you. Thank you kindly. So again, O'Darn looking to just get some experience on those intermediate tyres. Again, I'm not certain if wet races are forecast later in the season. Oh my goodness me, massive back-end sliding for O'Darn, and a bit of rallying going on in the Force India. Let's see who else we can find. Only 5 cars on track. Looking at Cool Cat then in 9th position. He has come out on the super soft tyre, according to my screen.
Optimistic.
I'd say. No, either.
I guess he's got nothing to lose. You know, as long as he doesn't just DQ himself or do something dangerous, then it's not going to cause any harm. And I did about 30 to 60 seconds ago. I did get a message, from my race engineer again saying that dry track soon. So it does look like the rain has actually stopped. But again, with 40 seconds just remaining in this session, I mean, I don't even know if Cool Cat's going to be able to get around the circuit in time to actually put a lap in.
He's on an outlap, so that's a definite no-hoper for the Sauber. But you've got to admire his optimism.
Yeah. I mean, it's worth a shot. There's no harm in trying. Again, as long as he stays safe out there, doesn't get in anybody's way, doesn't cause any incidents, then no problem for Cool Cat. He's a fellow American as well, so I'm always secretly cheering for Cool Cat. But I've seen him race in previous AOR stuff. He's a respectful guy. So if he's doing some exploration on the slick compound tires, I'm sure he'll be safe about it. But session is coming to an end now. Anybody on a lap will be allowed to finish that lap. But I doubt, we're not going to see any improvements. So there is the confirmation. Berg von Trips on pole for Mercedes alongside ACR Raven in 2nd position. Non-runner 3rd, O'Darn 4th, Race Fanatic in 5th. Two Finns in the top 5. Mini Black 6th, Tyranno Tigger 7th, Nuka 8th, Cool Cat 9th, and Sebi rounding out the top 10. But again, best of the rest on those intermediate tires was Fizzy.
Absolutely, the Renault clocking in 11th then. Nick B in the Manor in 12th, Nally in the Toro Rosso 13th, Marco FD is, as you highlighted earlier, way down the order in 14th, and Burkhoff in 15th with Lol not setting a time, so he could actually be stuck in between. Well, if that listing is to be believed, he's going to be stuck in between you and I, when the parade lap goes. That's going to be rather interesting. And Onage, you are more than welcome to my autograph, but I suspect it's probably Justin's you're actually after, for he is the greater man than I.
Well, Onage is he's the man I race engineer for, that I did the engineering for last Sunday, so he can get my autograph anytime he wants. So I think he may have actually been talking about you this time. But
awesome.
So yeah, again, we got a dry race ahead of us. Berg von Trips on pole position. Looking forward to this one. I have to say, this could be a very exciting race with all these drivers out of position.
Absolutely, yeah. This is going to be a great one. It's a shame, really, that we have to wait to retire almost. But something I actually forgot to inform you of, Justin, before we started streaming. There we go. Now we've got that race start message come up. I accidentally caused that race start counter to start because I went straight into my cockpit yesterday on the social race. I've been informed to just wait for somebody else to trigger it by readying up at this point. So let somebody else do it. So here we go. We're going to start the parade lap. So whilst I am a commentator, I will be doing the parade lap. That's going to be very amusing. That's actually Lol directly behind me. Now, according to the list, you're not actually on the grid.
No, yeah, I'm behind Lol technically.
Oh, there you are. Yes.
Yeah.
So Lolo's actually behind me, so he's actually got to stay behind me. Oh, and as I've gone backwards, that's a good start.
There we go. I'm going to pause it and not manually try and do the lap on keyboard like I did in Australia. So I should go a little bit smoother.
And actually, you know what? I think I might actually do the same, because the first thing I did was go straight off of the first turn. So I'm just going to let the AI recover my car for me as it's now going through turn 3. Unfortunately, can't really see anything if we're doing it that way. Round turn 4, I'm just going to unpause now that I'm on a straight bit.
What I could do while we're doing this exploration lap, while we're doing the formation lap, I could talk about the tires that everybody is going to be starting on. So obviously the top 10 will be starting on the tires that they used during qualifying, and all 10 of those times were on the slicks. Berg von Trips, though, with a significant advantage, you have to say, strategically anyway, starting on the soft compound tires. Raven starting on the super softs. Non-runner in third is on the softs. He's followed by Oh Darn for Force India on the super softs as well. Then we have 3 soft runners, Race Fanatic, Mini Black, and Tyranno Tigger, all starting from the yellow marked soft compound tires. Nuka and Cool Cat in 8th and 9th will be starting from the super softs. Sebi in 10th will be starting from the softs. Fizzy, first of the drivers that set their fastest time on the intermediates, Fizzy will be starting actually from the medium compound tires. And in
he's
fact,
a big fan of those white stripe medium tire. He did brilliantly well last week. Oh, really?
Everybody behind him, except for LOL, is on the soft compound tires. So Nick B, Nally, Marco FD, Burkhoff, all on softs, and then LOL right at the back, opting for the super softs. So he might be one to watch early in the race. I'm sure he's going to want to try and get out of traffic, try and make some overtakes on those super soft compound tires.
So I've now just come through turn 14. The AI is going to take over in a minute. There it goes. So now that Lolo should be starting on the left-hand side of the track, you will be directly behind me, so we shouldn't interfere. The fact that we'll be sat still initially shouldn't interfere with his start. We just see him catapult down the start finish straight. We actually had an amusing incident last night in the social race that reminded me of your mishaps in the Australian race. Somebody span out during the parade lap, so they actually ghosted through my car to return to 14th position. Right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wind them up and let them go, and away they go. Now I'm going to hold position for a second. Now I'm going to retire to make sure my car is out of the way. Now I just have to wait for the interface to give me control. Looks like a massive queue going into it, and there goes Fake Ghost Pirate past me. Right, Berg von Trips has hung on to that. So he's going to go to the outboard shot. Berg von Trips holding on to the race lead. If I get my keys right, oh darn, still in second. Whoa, that Red Bull of Raven then has lost their second place to the Force India. He's looking to retake it. Oh, and is that Race Fanatic getting very, very brave on the brakes then for trying to overtake non-runner, but deciding better of it at this stage. Whoa, no sooner do I say that, I think he's actually got him.
Yeah, very close racing, actually. Raven down into second position. He's already lost the position. He's coming under threat as well from Non-Runner in that Williams, very, very close behind him. Oh, and Berg von Trips nearly losing the back end there through that double left-hander complex, and here comes Non-Runner in the Williams, but Raven goes very, very defensive into that left-hander. So here we go through the very long increasing radius corner, and just struggling to get on the power, of course. Very difficult to know when to get on the power as everybody comes onto the very long straight now. Going to be lots of slipstream going on, but no DRS just yet.
Racer Fanatic seems to be jumping here, there, and everywhere, so he is having a bit of lag problem, it would seem, at this point. Whoa, and that's Force India just seen jumping out from the straight. We've got 3 wide coming into turn 14, or just jumped on with Fizzy, seeing people around him. The Fizzy fan hanging on to that 10th position on those medium tyres. Goes, oh, well, we've got someone out. Someone has hit the wall. It's Lon Lon, I think. Yes, Lon Lon has spun and is going the wrong way, trying to recover himself. The Williams now way down the order in last position.
And Raven has lost a number of positions as well. Started second, dropped down to third. Then I think there was actually some contact between himself and Non-Runner. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but he finds himself now down into 5th position. So 3 places down off of where he qualified. So not been a great start for Raven so far. It has been a great start for O'Darn, though, who is currently running in 2nd position and still just about keeping touch with Berg von Trips, but that gap between 1st and 2nd really starting to grow.
Racer Fanatic has gone up into 3rd position, then he's taken the Williams. Where has Non-Runner gone, actually? There he is, he's down to 6th place, so he's had a misgiving of some description, and finds himself in 6th position fighting.
I think it was him and Raven that made contact. I think they dropped down together. I think they had a contact at the hairpin at the end of the very long straight, and I think that lost them a couple of positions each.
That would make sense. A Racer Fanatic certainly capitalising on that. In 3rd place here, we're just watching Berg, Odan, Racer Fanatic, and Nuka then. Oh, and that Racer Fanatic is just jumping around everywhere.
Yeah, definitely some connection issues. I think they're going to be side by side into the hairpin. Can Race Fanatic outbrake him? I believe he has.
Oh, that's so close!
Not the best. Oh, yeah, he's going to do it around the outside. O'Darn's going to drop down into 3rd position, and with Nuka just behind as we start lap number 3, DRS becoming activated now, but they won't see it until we get until Sector 3, of course, with the detection line before the start-finish line. So DRS activated now, but again, won't see it for a little bit now. Oh, we've got some side-by-side battling going on. Nuka moves up ahead of O'Darn, takes that 3rd place position into turn 1.
Nicely done. Now, I was just looking at where Tyranno Ticker was, and he's down in 8th, so he's actually lost a position from his start and is not able to make much of an impact at this point. What tyres is Tyranno Ticker on? He's on the soft, so those around him must be on the super soft tyre. Oh no, we've got a mixture of soft and super soft runners around. So Tyranno Ticker not having a great race so far.
Nope, and actually Non-Runner and Raven continuing to battle side by side into the high-speed left-hander. Nuka's going to, he's going to have the inside line as Non-Runner for the right-hander, and he's going to get that position, but he's got his mirrors full of Red Bulls as he has to go around the outside now, defending that position even further from Raven, who is looking very, very racy in that Red Bull, and Raven's teammate Sebi as well, not far behind. So he's going to have to worry about both of those Red Bulls very, very close to him. Again, DRS is activated now, and I don't believe Non-Runner is not going to get the DRS here. He might lose a couple of positions.
Now, I've got a lovely shot here looking back from Raven. That's Sebi that's gone to the inside of the track on the soft tyres. Raven on the super softs. Can he maintain that 6th position? Both Red Bulls having DRS, and indeed that's Sebi having a look on the inside. Is he going to claim the position? No. Just about. Oh, they're still going, still side by side as they go heading down to 16. And Raven hangs on to that position by the merest of margins. Almost oversteers as he gets onto the start finish straight. And again, Sebi jumping around his teammate, trying to claim that position. He's got him at the moment, but he got him. He got him before the braking zone of turn 1. Goodness me.
Oh,
it's wrong wide.
Though. Yep, that's going to lose him at least a couple of positions. We got a Sauber that's turned around as well. A Sauber making contact with Tyranno Ticker. I'm not sure who that was.
I tried to figure it out. Is it Cool Cat? Nope, Cool Cat's still running. So, Nally, no, he's a Toro Rosso. I'm trying to figure out who that was. No, I've lost who it was, unfortunately.
I think it was Cool Cat, actually.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
Corcus the
that
only
may have been
Sauber runner
okay.
in. That's right. Sorry for talking over you there. Corcus the only Sauber runner we've got. The other, I think, is Iceman, is not actually with us today. Nick B's been through the pits already. He's on the medium tyre as well. Just caught up with him in the manor. Let's jump back up to our leaders then. Berg von Tripp still leads, but again, not the only, not by a massive margin over Race Fanatic. So Mercedes leads, Renault leads Mercedes at this point.
Yep, 2 Mercedes in the top 3, and the Ferraris are well down the order as well, who are, of course, currently the championship, the constructors leaders is Ferrari with the 1-2 from their team. It's been a fantastic result. In fact, they have yet to finish outside of the podium. They've got 2 wins, a second and a third out of the 2 races so far. But they are right down at the back as Tyranno Tigger making a move on ACR Raven. He has managed to navigate past both of the Red Bulls. Tyranno Tigger showing exactly why he is the championship leader right now as he moves up now into 5th position. So after a lackluster start, which you spotted earlier in the race, he was down in 9th position, I believe you said it was. He's now up into 5th and ahead of both of those Red Bulls.
And Marco only 2 cars down, so the Ferrari, both Ferraris then making their way through the field to try and do a bit of damage reduction on what's happened so far. Raven stuck right in the middle of those 2 Ferraris, not somewhere he would ideally like to be.
Actually, that's Sebi. Raven's in the pits. That's Sebi. That's
I
involved
beg
in
your
that
pardon,
battle.
so it is.
Raven just came into the pits at the end of lap 4. He's coming out now on a set of mediums.
I see. Right, let's check in then with our... The race lead has changed. Race Fanatic has got the race lead. Oh, he's off! Oh, no, he's not. He's lagging here, there, and everywhere. Nooker is in 2nd. Where's Berg gone?
He's down in 8th right now. I'm not sure what happened. I completely missed that. I think that's when I was checking on Raven in the pit box. But yeah, Berg von Trips, I don't think he came into the pits. I believe he's had some sort of mistake, some sort of issue, and that's dropped him right down to the tail end of the top 10.
He's now stuck in between Mini Black and Fizzy, so on potentially second-hand tyres, then he's stuck behind the charging Fizzy. He started on those mediums and is going to go quite some way. He's defending already from the Renault behind.
Yeah, I expect Fizzy to go until at least 10. Both of them are going to get DRS. Actually, so is the Force India ahead of them. So all 3 of them with the DRS. Fizzy braking very nicely. He gets it done. But Berg von Trips carrying just that little bit more speed, able to shoot around the outside. Again, Fizzy, ever the gentleman, giving lots of room. Very respectful racing from those guys. So yeah, Berg von Trips now up into 7th after making that overtake.
Toronto Tigger's come in. I just saw him battling with Raven through 14, 15, and 16 as the Ferrari has shot into the pits then. So let's check back in with our race leader if I can find him. There he is, Race Fanatic. Oh, big lock up there as I jump on board with him. He's just coming on to... Where is he? Is he coming onto the back straight? Nope, he's in the middle of Sector 2.
Yep.
Second then is Nooker. Now 2.5 seconds separates the top 2, but that is non-runner going out around the outside of the...
Wow.
Oh my God, that was brave. Nooker giving Racing Run then just come through turn 10 on that short straight then up. So brilliant move by the Williams there, having full faith in the fact that Nooker would give him racing room, and he did. But those Supersoft must be utterly shot to pieces now on that Mercedes.
Yep, yeah, you have to imagine. So this is really when the soft compound starters start coming into their own, and really it's not going to be all that much longer before the medium compound starter of Fizzy Fan becomes until he has the advantage. So already the softs becoming the better time. Oh, and is that
puncture on Nooker? Yes, front right puncture on the Mercedes. Then that's Marco and Sebi that's just gone past him. Marco into the pits. Sebi continues. Well, it's a good thing he was so close to the pits then. And there we see the Renault of Fizzy has now gone up to 5th position, but he's got Mini Black all over him, so he's past Mini Black at some point. And outside maneuver for Mini Black. Can he make it stick on the inside of turn 1? He's gone too wide. The Renault's going to have to claim him, but is the Renault going to keep hold of that in turn 2? No, the Force India's still there, still side by side. They're coming through turn 3 and 4, and the Force India wins out just before turn 5, but Fizzy's still not letting it go. Still side by side down towards turn 6. This is surely advantage Fizzy. No, Mini Black still in it. My God. those two not letting that go. Now Mini Black's on the inside of the long turn 7. Surely Fizzy's going to have to let this one go. I said that. No, my God! No, Fizzy's won it. Fizzy has won that particular battle. Good God.
There he goes. Holy cow. Incredible stuff, though, from Mini Black and Fizzy. Great racing, very respectful racing from both of them. I think there was a slight touch at one point, but I think that was Mini Black kind of losing the back end. Certainly, I don't think that was intentional. Burkhoff actually not far off behind as well in the McLaren Honda. He could get involved in this battle if he can buckle down and start putting in some quick lap times. He is also on the soft compound tire. Again, Fizzy, the only runner that started on the medium compound tires, and he's moved up now into 4th position, so clearly that has worked out pretty well for him. He's got Sebi just ahead of him. Oh, gosh, and actually, I apologize, I need to go back to Fizzy, because Mini Black's coming back at him inside line for the hairpin, and yeah, this battle is not done just yet.
I'm not sure my voice could have actually gone any higher when I was talking about these two. And Mini Black has come in. I'm not really surprised. Mini Black has decided to get rid of those soft tyres, so Fizzy back up to 4th place then. No, he's up to 2nd now. So that's Race Fanatic and Sebi that he has taken then. So who's going? Non-runner is in the lead. The Williams has taken the lead of this race on the soft compound tyre. Fizzy up to 2nd and possibly still some miles still to go in those medium tyres. Indeed, yes, I wondered exactly the same if Aqua F1 one stopping Fizzy. I do wonder. It certainly seems to be paying off. Big lock up for him into turn 6.
I think he's going to need to go at least 17 laps on a set of mediums if he wants to one-stop. That's not out of the realm of possibility, but I don't think it would be the fastest choice. I fully expect Fizzy to be 2-stopping. I don't know about 1-stopping. I fully expect we're going to see at least some of the drivers struggling enough to put in a 3-stop strategy. I think that's very likely. Non-runner most likely is going to be coming into the pits as well at the end of this lap. This is now 8 laps on a set of used soft tires, so he's got to be feeling the strain on those soft compound tires at the moment. So I believe at the end of this lap, Fizzy will inherit the lead temporarily. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the race director menu so we can talk about the full running order. So again, non-runner leading at the moment, followed by Fizzy. Then comes Nick B. He has not stopped yet. Then Berg Von Trips now in 4th position. Again, has not stopped either. Race Fanatic is in 5th. And
your prediction was correct. Non-runner has come into the pits this time round, and so that is going to give the lead to this man, the Flying Banana, as is often referred to as the Renault of Fizzy, has taken the lead, or will do shortly, of this race. There we go. Fizzy now leads the Shanghai Grand Prix, the Chinese Grand Prix here at Shanghai. Nick B elevated to 2nd. Non-runner, as we know, is just coming out of the pits. Does he retain that 3rd position? He does not. That is Race Fanatic in the Renault. He is now on the medium tyres, I believe. Yes, he is. So non-runner comes out in 4th position. Sorry, Justin, I cut you off there. You go ahead.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, I think I said Nick B had not pit yet, but I'm almost certain that he has pit, if I'm not mistaken. He didn't start on the mediums. Again, the only medium runner, I believe, was Fizzy. So, Race Fanatic, as you said, into 3rd position now after his stop, again, on the medium tires. So he might be another one. Both Renaults possibly going for a 2-stop strategy here in Shanghai, which I imagine is going to be the quicker of the strategies if you can actually make it work. As long as you're happy on those medium tires, then surely a 2-stop strategy is possible. But it's an interesting circuit. It can be very difficult, very punishing. So some of these guys might not feel super comfortable on the medium compound tires, the second hardest compound that we run. So we could see plenty of 3-stoppers. Wouldn't surprise me whatsoever.
Someone that doesn't sorry to interrupt you there, Justin. Someone doesn't seem particularly happy on those medium tires is Terrano Ticker down in 9th now in the Ferrari. His teammate Marco is actually opted for the softs, who's just taken 5th position from Odan then, which was watching a 4-way battle. Ferrari, Force India, Red Bull, as Odan's jumped onto the inside. Oh my God, we've got impact! Big impact! Oh my goodness me!
Who's gone deep there? Somebody's gone. I think that's Raven. Yeah, I believe that is Raven.
No, it was Marco. Marco was pushed wide by, I think it was Raven. Oh, and the Force India spun. The Force India. No. Oh, we've got major problems then here at turn 16. That's 3 cars out of position. We've got someone going backwards into the pit lane. That's one of the. Is that Sebi? It was Sebi in the Red Bull, lost his front wing. My goodness me, that was a horrifically chaotic moment there. Sebi now way down in 13th.
Yeah, I think that was O'Darn just losing the back end at the final corner, which is very easy to do. To his credit, I don't want to say that's a rookie mistake or anything. It's a surprisingly difficult.
Apologies if the stream has paused. My cat stood on my keyboard. Apologies there for me constantly screaming. I was actually struggling to keep up with everything going on there. Right, we're back in with the stream, and it hasn't crashed. Fantastic. Fizzy's still leading. Sorry, Justin. You're doing your best to try and get down the order. Go ahead.
Yep, Fizzy's still leading. Nick B is still holding on to second position as
5.3 down from Fizzy, so 2 medium runners at the front, and Fizzy is running away with this in the banana car.
Yeah, and his teammate Race Fanatic just doing his best to try and hold off Non-Runner here as they come onto the very long straight. Of course, Non-Runner here in the Williams is going to have the DRS here, and looks like he's going to get the inside line as well, giving a lot of room to Race Fanatic. I imagine he's probably
because of the lag, I would suspect.
Yeah, you would expect. So he gives him lots of room, grabs the inside line though, and moves up a position. So pretty straightforward overtake for Non-Runner.
ACR Raven then in 5th position of the Red Bull. Whoa, it looked like he lost the back end slightly there on turn 14. Does he come in? Does he continue? He continues. So the Red Bull of Raven continues. Tyranno Tigger's now to 6th position due to the misadventures of those going off around him. But again, he is 18 seconds off the lead. That is not somewhere I expected that Ferrari runner to be, judging by his previous performances. Nooker in the Mercedes, in the medium shod Mercedes in 7th place, just coming around turns 1 and 2. Burkhoff, haven't mentioned him at all in this race. On the soft shod McLaren, currently holds 8th, coming through 1 and 2. Who else can we find? Nally in the Toro Rosso, soft tyres on him, coming through 3 now. Next one down is Cool Cat. After his misadventures early on in this race, we haven't really seen him in the Sauber. Medium tyres on the Sauber then. Who is next? Berg Von Trips in the Mercedes. He is on the medium tyres as well. So former race leader Berg Von Trips having a torrid time now. Mini Black, after the misadventures we saw previously, is now... Was Mini Black or Rodan that was the Force India in that? I've forgotten.
Mini Black.
It was Mini Black. I'm glad you're here, Mike.
Wait, in the incident at the final corner?
Yeah.
That was O'Darn.
Oh, it was O'Darn. I'm
sorry.
glad you're here to remember. Marco then on the soft-tyred Ferrari in 13th then. Here we have a 3-way battle. Sebi, O'Darn and Lol. Oh, lots of locking up going on. Soft tyres on the Red Bull of Sebi. And, I can't get the interface right. Soft tyres on the Force India in 15th position of O'Darn. And Lon bringing up the back of the pack on the medium shot Williams then. Where is Fizzy in relation to these guys? Fizzy's in
the pits.
Fizzy is coming in then. So a little early then to be trying the one stop. What does he fit? Let's just watch him as he comes into his crew. Here's another set of mediums. Oh no, it's not. It's another set of softs. It's a set of soft tyres. Initially, I swear that those tyres appeared
white. They're showing
white.
Medium for me. They're showing medium on my screen. So I think your initial assessment may have been correct.
They are mediums. The tyres have mysteriously changed colour in between when he's pit crew and the end of the pit lane. So he's come out in 6th position then after his stop. So who's taking the lead? Was it Non-Runner? It is indeed. The Williams Non-Runner takes the lead, but he has got rear view mirror full of Renault as Race Fanatic is trying to keep that pressure on with those medium tyres. Definitely seems to be the tyres. Seems to be the tyres of choice. I've just seen Blue Crusades. What the hell is going on? We'd be here forever trying to fill you in on what's happened previously. A hell of a lot is what's going on here.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to keep up with everything, to be totally honest. It's a bit of a frantic race, but yeah, as it stands right now, Non-Runner leading, Race Fanatic not far behind. A pretty healthy gap back to Tyranno Tigger, who's just making his way into that increasing radius right-hander at the end of Sector 2, start of Sector 3. He's got ACR Raven behind him, so those two guys resuming their rivalry. But yeah, very really a tale of two races for those two guys. Tyranno Tigger started pretty far down, while Raven started on the front row of the grid, and now they find themselves sharing the same piece of track just about, as I think Raven may have even gotten DRS off of Tigger there. If he didn't, he's certainly very close to DRS range. So that battle is... Oh,
Raven's
Raven
in.
actually comes in.
Raven is in to get rid of those medium tyres. Now, I just watched Fizzy blast past the Mercedes of... not Raven. The Mercedes and Nooker then under DRS on that back straight. Nooker trying to do something about it, but I don't think he's going to be able to before turn 1, and indeed he does not. So Fizzy back up to 4th place then. So Tyranno Tigger, after a fairly disastrous start, is beginning to get into a decent position, but I suspect he'll have to pit soon.
Yep, and Raven comes out on the soft compound tires, so he is a confirmed 3-stopper. He is not going to be going 16 laps on this set of soft compound tires. That much is for sure.
Oh, it's down in 11th.
Raven, yeah, he's 3-stopping, but he's going to be very quick. Let's see who's the next car up the road. It is Berg von Trips, who is on fairly old medium compound tires, so he should be able to navigate past him relatively easily. And then Cool Cat is the next car up the road, also on fairly worn medium tires. So he's got some opportunities here, but Raven, it's very important for Raven not to get caught behind these guys. He needs to clear cars very quickly and make use of these soft compound tires, because I assume he's going to be stopping again later on in the race for another set of softs.
Lolo is out, so the Williams runner has retired again from the back of the field. He has decided to call it a day. So Williams down a car at this point, but like I say, he wasn't at the back of the field. Now, just watching Fizzy then onto that back straight. Nook has got no answer for him at all. Even with DRS, the Renault has got the better of the... Oh, big locker then. Oh, my goodness me. It's a good thing Lolo's car ghosted. It's actually stuck on turn 14. It's a ghost, so it's not going to affect anybody, but I suspect he's actually disconnected as opposed to voluntarily left.
Yeah, it's gone now, thankfully. I was going through and I was having a look at Burkhoff, and I did not see that Williams car parked at the hairpin, so thankfully that's been cleared as we rapidly approach halfway distance now, starting lap 14 of 28.
Christ, that's gone quick. I suddenly realised it is halfway, so non-runner still leading this race, but again, not by a massive amount over that Renault, but he is definitely getting into his stride then on those soft tyres in the Williams then. Race Fanatic trying to hang on to the back of that Williams, but now 2.1 seconds between the two. Does not have DRS in his box of tricks to try and keep up. Tyranno Tigger 8.6, so keeping a fairly constant gap. Has been about 8.6, 8.7 for the last few laps now in that Ferrari. Oh, again, kicking the tail end out on the exit of turn 10. Fizzy is in a battle with Nooker, although he is beginning to leave the Mercedes behind. So Fizzy well and truly into his stride then. If you've got the lap times handy, Justin, who's got fastest lap so far?
Let me take a look.
Because he is a real pig to find out with this damn interface, and I don't want to leave the stream staring at menus.
I'm actually going to have to go through it. So go ahead, keep talking about the race. I'll get back to you and find out who's got fastest lap.
Nick B in the Manor is trying to chase down the Mercedes then. So 6th position for the soft shod Manor. Burkhoff in the McLaren then. He has got a rear view mirror full of Toro Rosso of Nally. So I was just seeing, again, a possible locker for Burkhoff. Oh, that's close. McLaren and Toro Rosso very, very close as they come through turn 14. Into 16 then. Oh, and it did look like the Toro Rosso took a little bit too tight a line. And Cool Cat's coming to the pit again. How many times has he pitted? That's got at least twice already.
Yeah, this will be his second time pitting already. Yep, so he might be another 3-stopper possibly. I can tell you fastest lap so far is actually Nick B. And he just popped that in a couple of laps ago. Lap 13 for Nick B, fastest of anybody, with a 137.826 on the soft compound tires.
Good job, and was just I winced then, my buttocks clenched seeing the McLaren and Toro Rosso side by side through turns 3 and 4, and the Toro Rosso's jumped on the inside, but there's a slight bit of contact between Burkhoff and Nally. But both cars continuing unabated then. I suspect Nally may have slightly fresher tyres because he did really catch Burkhoff completely off guard on the braking zone of turn 6.
And Nick B, again with the fastest lap of anybody so far, is currently in 6th position and rapidly catching up to Nuka. I think he might actually get DRS here possibly, as they just went over the detection line there, through the increasing radius corner onto the very long DRS straight. I
think he's just outside of it, looking at the gaps between the two. I think he's... He did. Has he got DRS? No, he was 1/10 outside of it. Looking at the gap to leader between the two cars, it was 1/10 outside of the second that he needed. Oh, but again, big heavy braking zone. Just watching on board, or we were at that point with Nick B. He is actually going to jump on board with Nick B. Nooker trying his hardest to defend, but that's going to compromise. Oh, Nick B got all out of shape on 16. That's going to give Nooker a bit of breathing space, heading down towards turn 1 again.
Yep, Nick B with the DRS though. For
that
sure
time
now,
around, yep.
Yep, too far back to do anything into turn 1. Not an easy overtaking location. Certainly a possible overtaking location, but he's going to have to hang back in that manner for now and just follow behind. Again, you know, the car in front of him, Nuka, is on the medium compound tires, Nick B on the softs. I think we're going to see an overtake attempt here into the hairpin. He switches back over to the right-hand side, grabs the inside line. Nuka very late on the brakes, though. Both of them take the racing line, and it's as they were, so Nick B holds on to that 5th place position. Or 6th place, excuse me.
Sixth place, yeah. So the manner all over the back of the Mercedes. Now, how often are we ever going to hear that statement in a Formula One context? Certainly not anytime soon. Then, oh, lovely overhead shot. Then helicam. I'm
getting the same one.
I love this camera when we've got two very closely combating cars. I must say the camera. Nick B braked very early then into turn 11. I must say the cameras in this game are fantastic, for broadly speaking. A couple of times we do get a rear-facing camera when there's nobody there, but generally we have got the cameras on this game are pretty damn good. Now, I'm used to Project Cars that has got some of the worst camera placements on certain tracks. Some of them are brilliant, but some tracks are just horrific. Is Nick B shaping up for an inside maneuver? No, not quite. Had DRS, but didn't quite have the space to do it.
He might be setting up another turn 1 overtake attempt here, possibly. Let's see as they head into the final corner now. And actually, he's going to move up the inside.
Nuka's gone in the pits.
Off into the pits. And I wonder what's actually. I'm curious to see what kind of tires he's going to go for. So I'm going to go on board with him. You stick with the action. I'll see what Nuka goes on to.
Okie dokie. So jump up to our racy to non-fanatic. I've just combined the Williams and the Renault then to make non-fanatic. Non-runner then continues to lead, but again that Renault is still in his rearview mirrors. He's not letting that one go at all. I think non-runner is probably taking the best life out of those tires. It is 2.8 seconds, so that gap has increased, but not by a massive amount from the last time we checked in on these two. So Race Fanatic doing his best to keep in touch with the soft shod Williams. And Race Fanatic is indeed on those medium tires. Now, what was the tyre choice of Nuka then, Justin?
He went for the mediums. That was the end of lap 16, so he's got a 12-lap stint to make these tires work.
So that's the last stop.
We can assume.
Yeah, that's the last stop for him. Absolutely. Yeah. So then Tyrannotica still in third then. He's those medium tyres surely are down to rubber bands by now. And again, he's keeping his gap about 8.4 seconds out. He's gained slightly from when I last checked him. In the background, I just saw Fizzy. He is up to 4th position now. If Fizzy's able to get to the end in that position, he's actually setting an interesting trend. In the last 3 years, he's done 6th, 5th, and what would be 4th. So by the time he hits Monaco, he will have actually won a race.
Which wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Monaco is all about attrition and keeping your focus and not keeping it out of the barriers and stuff. So I wouldn't bet against that. That much is for sure.
Now, I do confess I'm not a real-life Monaco fan, but if we're going to get the kind of action we've seen today, I can't wait.
Non-runner pit. He came in for a set of the medium compound tires, so he's got an 11-lap stint to round out his race on these mediums.
So we got a Renault, Ferrari,
Renault. Comes out right next to Nick B in the manor. Nick B switches back to the inside. They're going to be side by side through turns 2 and 3, but no, non-runner is going to take that position on those brand new medium compound.
Yeah, Nick B bailed out of that, and I think quite wisely, because even though non-runner's tyres are going to be a bit cold, he knew he wasn't really going to be able to keep that Williams behind him for long. So Nick B quite wisely bailed out of that and let the Williams in. So he's got 17 seconds onto Race Fanatic. I know I'm going to be shot for saying I'm not a Monaco fan, but what can I say? We all have our loves and vices.
I'm not either. I hate Monaco.
I'm not alone. Yes, I'm not alone.
Strength in numbers.
Damn right. So Race Fanatic then, he's onto that back straight now. I'm curious to see whether he's going to pit at this stage. What's the gap between him and Tyrannotica? Well, you just saw it in the shot then. That is 5.2 seconds to Tyrannotica. I'd be surprised if Tyrannotica won't pit again. The amount of laps he's already done on those mediums, there is no way he's going to go to the end. But Race Fanatic does continue.
So just taking a quick look at the pit stops, Nick B has stopped twice.
No sooner do I say that, sorry to cut you off there, Tyrannotica is in the pits. So I am not surprised. So that's going to be his last stop.
Yep, yeah, second and final stop for him.
And that is going to be softs on the Ferrari. Oh, that's going to shape up to be now. Is he going to be able to squeeze 10 laps out of those softs? That's a tall ask.
Well, it's the end of the race. The car is light with fuel. There's rubber down on the circuit. It's more likely than at the beginning of the race. But
True.
Yeah, regardless, it's not going to be easy for him, certainly.
Tirano Tigger out in 5th position then with fresh rubber on. That is going to shape up to be a lovely, lovely battle. Oh my God, his teammate is at the back of the field though. I just switched to Marco. He's in 15th position on the medium tyre.
Three stops.
So he's been through the pit recently then. So Marco's got some work to do, but he's got the tyres on which to do it. Race Fanatic then just coming through the 11 and 12 onto that long right-hander of 13. Come on, camera, change. I've been complimenting cameras and it didn't change. There we go. So Race Fanatic onto that back straight again. Second is Fizzy. So we have a Renault 1-2 at this point in time. Race Fanatic leading Fizzy by 10.9 seconds. Is
Fizzy still yet to stop? He's got to stop again.
I was just thinking, surely he's got to stop again, but
he's only run the mediums, so he's got to stop. The question with Fizzy is whether or not he's going to go onto the softs, which would be the safe choice, or if he's going to go for the super softs, which would be the aggressive choice.
Well, he can't pit now. His teammate is in, so Race Fanatic has come in. So Fizzy is going to take the lead of this race, and there he comes in, coming through 16. Fizzy Fan takes the race lead here at China.
Yep. And I think, knowing Fizzy, I've known Fizzy for a while, and I think he's going to go for the softs at the end. I don't think he necessarily thinks that he is within a shot of catching up to his teammate. It's just been, a fantastic race so far for Race Fanatic. He's been going quite well, and he is out on the soft compound tires. I expect Fizzy to come in probably next lap, lap 21, lap 22, probably fit the soft compound tires.
So non-runner then just shy of 4 seconds from the lead on those medium tyres. So that Williams is going to get very, very handy. Race Fanatic is indeed out, and he's out in 3rd. So he's come out ahead of Tirano Tigger. Oh, that's going to be a fantastic race then. 9 laps of these two scrapping away for the podium position. So you've got to hand it to Tirano Tigger. What a recovery race for him. Starting in 8th, was it? 7th or 8th position, something like that. And now in 4th with no further pit stops to do. That is going to shape up to be something pretty dramatic as the race continues.
And, Nuka and Nick B still running in very close proximity. We saw Nuka come out of the pits right alongside Nick B. They had that little battle. It seemed like Nick B kind of conceded that one, but the battle between them continues on. Nick B not far off. In fact, I think he's within DRS range here.
That was Race Fanatic he can... it was non-runner he conceded to. It was the Williams he conceded to as opposed to Nuka.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So there's been a change of position. That's just on the back shot here from Nuka. It did actually look like Nick B was power sliding around turn 13. That's not a surprise. That's pretty much what we anticipated. Now, what tyres is he going to go on to? Just watching him coming to his pit crew. That's the softs going onto that Renault. So yellow striped tyres on the yellow car. Not a surprise. Down in 4th. Is he going to lose that 5th position to Nuka? Oh, that's going to be close. Nope, Fizzy is out, so Fizzy comes out in 4th place.
Yep, and with a healthy gap and on fresh soft tires as well, so he should have no problems keeping Nuka behind. He's, of course, very consistent, very... he's a veteran racer, Fizzy's been doing this for a long time, so he's going to keep his cool, and I think he's going to hold on to that 4th place position.
Non-runner resumes the lead of this race in the medium shod Williams then. Race Fanatic in 2nd in the Renault on the soft tyres. 5 seconds separates him and the top spot. He has gone rearview mirrors of this man, Tirano Tigger. 6 seconds separates the Ferrari to the lead. There we just saw the top 3 in the same shot. But Tirano Tigger is going to be pushing like crazy to get past that Renault. Both of them locking up into turn 11. Fizzy in 4th then, 18 seconds down from the lead, so he has lost a lot of time, but he's got no one in his way between himself and Tirano Tigger, so we could yet see Fizzy making a good charge if Tirano Tigger and Race Fanatic slow each other down if they start fighting.
Yep, or if Race Fanatic breaks Tirano Tigger's DRS, because right now Tirano is getting the DRS off of Race Fanatic, which is obviously very helpful You can gain a lot of time with that as they make their way into the final corner now to finish lap 21. 3/4 distance through this race, just 7 laps remaining, and Tyranno Tigger is just holding on to the back of Race Fanatic. I don't think he's going to be really a threat for that second place position, but he could prove me wrong. You have to remember, Tyranno Tigger is the leader in this championship. He's won 2 out of 2 races, and as it stands right now, he's going to finish on the podium. It's not been such a great day, unfortunately, for his teammate Marco FD, currently down in 13th position, who has really just been struggling. We may have missed some incidents with him potentially. We don't know the full story exactly, but
there's been enough incidents we have spotted, let's be fair.
It's a tale of 2 prancing horses, that's for sure. 2 very, very different races for these guys.
Absolutely. On board with Tyranno Tigger at this point. As you see how he's chasing. Oh, he tried to jump on the inside of Race Fanatic there through turn 8, but Race Fanatic saw that one coming and did not react as Tyranno Tigger was hoping he would. So 5.1 seconds then between third and first. So these two, I believe, are closing the medium shot. Williams down. All Race Fanatic possibly going a little bit too wide at 13. Switch to the outboard shot then. So Tyranno Tigger is well within DRS range, and indeed, yes, second and third are catching first place. Let's just jump on board with Tyranno Tigger. He's in the DRS, flies to the inside of the Renault, and Race Fanatic didn't fight it, so he saw the Ferrari coming. Big lockup for Tyranno Tigger. So Tyranno Tigger has taken that second place from the Renault then.
Surprising, actually. I really did not expect Race Fanatic to have that much of a trouble for him. But yeah, like you said, if these guys start battling, that's certainly going to get Fizzy involved potentially. It's going to increase the gap that Non-Runner has as well up at the front. Again, he is on those quite warm medium compound tires. 12-lap stint for Non-Runner came in at the end of lap 16, so already 6 laps into this stint for Non-Runner. And in fact, while you keep looking at the field, I'm going to take a look at the last laps for the top cars and see just how much faster some of these people are.
Now, Tyranno Tigger has gained almost a full second on Non-Runner in the last 5 or half a dozen corners. Unbelievable. A late race charge in from the Ferrari, and he appears to be getting some gap between him and the Renault of Race Fanatic. So
Renault was 9/10 faster than Non-Runner last lap.
So we are seeing a charge then from this particular prancing horse. There is life in this one yet. Never ever discount the performance of this man. Bearing in mind that this is the season 11 champion we are looking at.
Race Fanatic has a penalty.
Oh dear. So
he got 3 corner cut track extend warnings, and he's picked up a 3-second time penalty.
Oh, that's not going to help him. Let's just see what's so that could demote him from third to fourth. Again, now sub 4 seconds between Tyranno Tigger and Non-Runner. That battle is going to get very, very juicy very, very soon.
Fizzy Fan, 6/10 quicker than his teammate Race Fanatic last lap. So yeah, it is not over for third either. What is the gap? Can you check to see what the gap is between third and fourth? Because Fizzy is definitely closing in.
Let's just have a look then. 4.1, 16.9. So that's about 12. So 17 minus 4, 13. It's about 13-ish seconds between the two Renault at this point in time. So there's a big old gap there. But if Race Fanatic's now starting to struggle, we saw Fizzy come through the pits very, very recently, and it could well be that he could close that gap up in the final 5 laps of this race.
Now I'm just going to have a quick look through while you keep looking at the race. I'm going to check to see if there are any other penalties that have been given out so far in this race.
Tyranno Tigger is a man on the move. He has got a impressive gap between himself and the Renault already. So he snips the victory well and truly after a terrible start and a fairly mediocre first stint, or what appeared to be a mediocre first stint. He is now on a charge and is well on his way to challenging for the lead. Unbelievable.
Nally has a penalty down in P9. I don't know what the gap is between Nally and Sebi, but Nally's got a 3-second penalty, and it looks like Marco FD is actually right on the limit. If he has one more mistake, he's going to get a penalty as well. But everybody else, I'm seeing a lot of clean drivers. O'Darn actually as well has a 3-second time penalty.
There's about 14. There's about 14 seconds between Sebi and Sebi and Nally. So who were you saying? O'Darn's got a penalty.
And also Cool Cat, actually. So a lot of the drivers at the back, and also Burkov as well has a 3-second time penalty. And Mini Black does not have a penalty, but did have a drive-through penalty earlier.
Tut tut, naughty naughty. So, lap 25, 4 laps remaining. Lead still in the hands of the Williams of Non-Runner. Second, Ferrari of Tirano Tigger, now just 2.7 seconds down the road on those soft tyres. It is possible that Tirano Tigger could burn those tyres out before he gets to the Williams, but at this rate, it is not looking likely. Another 2/10 out of that lead from Non-Runner. Third place, Race Fanatic in the Renault, also on soft tyres, but is losing touch with the Ferrari ahead of him. 3.9 down from the leader. Fourth, Fizzy Fan. Doesn't seem to be making a great deal of impact. He could be settling in for just simply taking the fourth more than pushing too hard to try and close down what is a 17.5 second gap between himself and the leader, and approximately a 13-second gap between himself and third place Race Fanatic. So could be settling in for fourth place.
Yep, Tirano Tigger last lap 0.5 quicker than Non-Runner. So with a 2.3 second gap and with 3 laps still to go, yeah, I would say this is not over yet. This is definitely not over yet. Now, of course, Tirano Tigger's tires are going to fall off. Wow, that's a tongue twister. Tirano Tigger's tires. Those are going to fall off pretty dramatically, of course, being on the soft compound in comparison to Non-Runner, whose tires will go off a little bit more slowly, a little bit more evenly because they're the mediums. But Non-Runner's tires are also older. So starter lap 26 now, just under 3 laps remaining in this race. I would say it's not over just yet for the lead.
It looks like the front three are fairly equidistant between one another. So 2.3 separates Tirano Tigger from Non-Runner, and Race Fanatic is 4.3. So 2 seconds between second and third, and 2.3 between second and first. Oh, big lock up then for the Renaults. We're on board with him. And again, that back end wanted to swap.
I think Race Fanatic might be settling in on account of that 3-second time penalty that he picked up. I think he's very much aware. I've encountered Race Fanatic a number of times on various platforms and stuff over the years with commentary, and he's definitely a mature driver for sure. And I think he knows with that 3-second time penalty and only 2.5 laps remaining, he would have to clear both of these cars and then build a 3-second gap in order to finish ahead of them, because he has to assume that they do not have a penalty, and in fact they do not. So I think he's just settling into this third place position, just knowing that not only would he have to pass them, but he'd have to build that 3-second gap on them if he wants to win this race or even get second. So he might just be kind of wanting to bring the car home, managing those tires, managing that fuel, and just making sure he stays ahead of his teammate.
Indeed, and again a big lock up into that turn 14 for Race Fanatic. So we begin lap 27. There is your top 3. There's Race Fanatic coming into the shot. Non-Runner begins the penultimate lap here in China. And so as long as Non-Runner keeps it clean, he may yet still, but there's less than 2 seconds between Tirano Tigger and Non-Runner. What was the lap time difference there, Justin?
0.5.
He's going to run out of time then. If he's only closing in at half a second a lap, he's still got 1.8, so he's relying on a mistake then from Non-Runner, and that is, of course, not taking tyre degradation into account. It's going to be close.
We got an overtake for P7. Berg von Trips in the Mercedes, overtaking ACR Raven into the hairpin at the end of the very long DRS straight. And actually, Berg von Trips is on a charge. Holy cow, he's already bridged the gap between himself and his teammate Nuka, who is up in P6 on the medium compound tires. Here comes Berg von Trips on these soft compound tires, and actually he's just going to let him through.
Yeah.
Nuka relegates himself down into 7th, lets Von Trips go on those soft compound tires. Who's the next car up the road?
Nick B.
Berg von Trips. It's Nick
It's
B.
Raven, I think. Oh no, it is Nick B. Sorry, I went the wrong way through the order there. Nick B in the manor.
He's on primes, so let's see. He's just making his way into the double left-hander. No, I think that gap's going to be too large probably for Berg von Trips.
31.635, so yeah, that's about 3.5 seconds. That's going to be a hell of one to pull off with 1.5. Well, what is going to be a single lap to go. Watching Non-Runner come across the line to start the final lap then. What is the gap between him and Tirano Tigger? It is 1.6. So Toronto Ticket is going to have to rely on a mistake from the Williams driver to take that position. Then it was just a couple of tenths, I think, in Toronto Ticket's favour.
And Nick B has picked up a penalty in the last lap, so actually Berg Von Trips just needs to get within 3 seconds of Nick B, and he will finish in the top 5.
Oh, now he's very close. He is very close. If he continues that charge, whether he's aware of that penalty on Nick B's case or not, he is going to be very, very close to claiming that 5th position spot.
1.4 seconds is the gap right now between Tyranno Tigger and non-runner, so if he can close in 5 tenths over the course of the next handful of corners or so, then he might have a shot here, but my money is definitely on non-runner at this stage.
It is non-runner's race to lose then. The white wall tyres, what am I saying, white stripe tyres on that white Williams then. Into turn 11, still a big lockup on the form of the Williams. Into 12 comes our race leader. Through 13, onto that back straight. Toronto Ticket will not have DRS. It's 1.5 seconds between the pair of them. You can see on board. You can see for yourself the gap from a driver's perspective between Toronto Ticket and non-runner, unless non-runner throws it into the wall in the final corners. Big lockup into, or possibly into 14, but he's keeping the car on the black stuff. Into turn 16 then, the line comes up very, very quickly. Here is your race winner for the Chinese Grand Prix. It is the Williams of non-runner!
Very well done. Very well deserved. Fantastic drive from him. A bit of a hectic race for sure, but it's not over just yet, actually, for 5th position. As we mentioned, Nick B does have a 3-second time penalty, and last I checked, it was about a 4-second gap to Berg Von Trips, who is just making his way into the hairpin now. He's going to have an almighty final sector here if he wants to close in. Yeah, that looks like more than 3 seconds to my eye.
Yeah,
confirmation very
I think he's just going to be denied as Nick B is just crossing the line to take that 5th. Berg Von Trips, indeed, he's still listed as 6th position, so he has lost out on that 5th just about. So unfortunately the interface doesn't allow me to track the cars as they come across. Just watching Sebi then in the final of the point-paying position in the Renault. There's Marco. He finished finally finished in 11th position. A torrid race for him. Odan in the Force India, he's in 12th place. He's just coming up to the final turn, so he'll be claiming 12th. Burkhoff in the McLaren, finishing on the super softs. Christ, that was a gamble. I'm not sure that paid off for you. And Burkhoff is the last of our runners. And there is your confirmed race finishers. Non-runner taking the win in spectacular style. Toronto Ticket 2, Race Fanatic 3, Fuzzy 4th. So a good result for the Renault team there. Nick B getting an excellent 5th position there. Berg Von Trips 6th. And not a great pole man finishing in 6th. Not a great race for him. Lucas 7 in the Mercedes. ACR Raven for Red Bull in 8th. Nully in the Toro Rosso. Good effort for him, starting in 13th, finishing in 9th. Sebi rounding out your top 10. Thank you so much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. My name has been Coney Kodiak, joined again by the excellent Fake Ghost Pirate of Justin, if I can get my words out properly. I will see you next time for some more AOR F1 action. Thank you very much. And thank you, Justin, for joining me once again.
Oh, my pleasure. Happy to be here. We'll see you next time, guys.
Thank you very much, and good night.